let's go ahead and get to our first guest this morning, because we're pretty excited about this. And really, I think they are making history because from what we understand, the Florida Aquarium, they are opening up Friday, and they're going to be one of the first in the country, right, Roger?
That's correct.
You're going to have a lot of eyes on you on how this is going to be panning out.
We will. Well, yes, and thank you for having us on here. And we are excited. I kind of liken this to opening day, both from an excitement standpoint, but also we have butterflies in our stomach. As you said, we are one of the largest attractions in Florida to reopen. We're one of the first aquariums in North America to reopen. But what I want to say is that just even watching the yoga, there is this emotional and mental healing that happens here at the Florida Aquarium when you bring humans and animals and nature together. And that's the reason for us to reopen this Friday, is to really help with our community after 2 months, just to kind of relax and reconnect and re-energize. And so we're excited, and we've got a lot of things to talk about that we have put in place to make sure health and safety and well-being of all of our guests, our staff, and our animals are first and foremost.
You know, Roger, before we look ahead, let's take a look back. I know one of the things that I looked forward to is checking out your Facebook page, your website. You guys were doing videos for kids. You were keeping content out there. And I don't know about you, but I've seen these videos of, I'm going to use giraffes as an example, kind of hugging each other almost, because they're not used to that person interaction that they're able to get at places like the zoo and, of course, the aquarium. I think we had penguins even walking around a little bit in the aquarium. Talk about how there is such an impact maybe for the animals and the care of the animals that people don't necessarily think about.
You know, that's a great question, Natalie, and you're right. You know, the animals that are here, I mean, they get the best care possible. You know, I'm often jealous about the care that they get. I'd love to have that for me and my family as well. But with our guests not being here, I mean, we had to make some adjustments. So while they're all fine, we would do things like set up TV monitors, and we had our pufferfish watching Finding Dory. We had birds flying around the aquarium, penguins, as you alluded to, you know, walking around and watching that shark predator swim by with, cut several inches of plexiglass between. So we had to do some things. All of our staff were guest DJs during the day. So they picked the soundtrack that played over the intercom system, not only again for guests, because we weren't used to the quiet, but just to kind of engage and enrich all of our animals. So I know that they're excited to see our guests come back as well. But it was really surreal during these last 2 months.
Yeah.
So how will it work? So the aquarium is going to open Friday. We've seen the stingray at the front of the aquarium wearing the mask. That's one of the big messages. Who is required to wear a mask? How do we get tickets? Kind of break it down for us.
Sure. So we put a lot of new things in place. And again, with the health and safety and welfare of all of our guests, staff, and animals. And so first and foremost, what we are asking the public to do is to go online at flaquarium.org and reserve your ticket. Because why are we doing that? One is that eliminates all of the kind of the contact points. You can come in with your smartphone, or even if you print a ticket out, you can scan that without anyone touching it. Two is, when you go online, is we are now doing timed ticketing. So you can pick the half hour that you want to come, and we are limiting capacity here at the Florida Aquarium. So what that does is that means this aquarium is not overwhelmed with guests. We provide an excellent opportunity to experience the aquarium, but with that physical distancing in place. So that's probably the biggest feature. But then when you come around here to the aquarium, you'll notice all kinds of things, from more hand sanitizers and guests or staff all wearing masks, and decals put on floors that promote social distancing and a one-way experience. So it's a pretty amazing experience here right now, but physical distancing is absolutely key.
Well, before we got started, I was so impressed when you were talking about the actual capacity level. And I am one who has yet to venture out with my family. And hearing, though, the 25%, I can't really imagine that in my head until I literally dive in and see what it's like. But you're taking this a step further and keeping your capacity limits even lower that to protect people, right?
Yeah, absolutely. So with the governor of the city and the county all coming out saying organizations like the Florida Aquarium can open with 25% capacity. We're running around 12.5 to 13% capacity. And again, this, the COVID-19 is so new. There's so many things that are happening every day. We want to be very conservative. We want to be very mindful, keeping health and well-being at the forefront. So again, we are opening and reopening from the standpoint of being able to provide that kind of mental and emotional healing. That this is a long process that we're all going to have to go through. And so, just by limiting that space, is just critical. And we've seen some folks who have come through here, the aquarium, and you can tell they are moving, they are socially and physically distancing themselves, and we're excited to reopen on Friday.
Roger, I'm curious, are other aquariums reaching out to you? Like, are you in touch with other aquariums across the country? How does that work? Because I'd imagine it would be such a wealth of information to be able to share with each other.
Yeah, we're very blessed here in Tampa Bay to have all of the everything put in place to be able to reopen. And you're right. So zoos, aquariums across the country have all reached out to us. Matter of fact, later today, we are going to do a kind of a webinar for a lot of our colleagues in the zoo and aquarium world to share all of our opening practices. And even locally, I mean, we're all coordinating together. I'm talking with the folks at the Glazer Children's Museum and Mosey and the Art Museum and others. So we're sharing best practices. We decided that when we closed on March 16th, two teams were formed. One was keep the animals healthy and safe, keep the building running, and do things like we talked about earlier of providing educational content online and making sure we're still saving animals. But there was a second team that really started 8 weeks ago to focus on us reopening. And so we were talking to colleagues around the world. Matter of fact, one of my friends who runs one of the biggest aquariums and parks in Hong Kong, I mean, we've been talking for months, matter of fact, even before we closed down, of what they are seeing and doing and how to bring those best practices here. And then lastly, we've teamed up with the folks at TGH and their infectious disease team to really look at our plans, but also they've conducted walkthroughs through the aquarium and have given us, 2 thumbs up, but also have provided some extra measures that we're going to do to make sure everybody's safe and healthy.
I like that. Well, we're giving you 2 thumbs up for sure. We want to stress again, make sure go to the website, online tickets only. So you must get them in advance. Congratulations on reopening. Friday's the big day.
Thank you. We look forward to having you and all your families come down.
I know. We can't wait. And we look forward to checking in with you again soon, seeing how everything's going.
Carly, please make sure your son leaves the fishing pole at home.
Okay. Sounds good.
Nice. Nice one. Oh, good one.
Bye, Rod. Take care. Stay safe.
Thank you. You too.